Dragon Age Origins, en compagnie de Zevran et de Wynne, qui sont ici pour nous sauver, car Alistair et notre personnage sont tout nus dans une cellule de prison. Je suis sûr que c'est extrêmement triste.
State your business.
Allez, Zevran, tu leur racontes tout.
I have a delivery for the commander of the fort.
What is it? I wasn't notified about anything coming today.
Well, the items are of a personal nature. No doubt he didn't want anyone to know.
Ah, fine. Wait over there. I'll get the captain.
There. Not so difficult, was it?
We're not inside yet.
Ah, but you can hardly doubt that we soon will be.
Just try not to get carried away.
All right, what's this about? A delivery, for which I have still not been paid, by the way. No one told me about any deliveries today. I cannot imagine why not. Surely your commanding officer informs you whenever he is having items of a personal nature delivered to him. What is... No, I don't want to know. Go on in.
Avec Ogren, ils se font passer par des gens de cirque itinérant. Et Wynne, elle dit qu'elle vient livrer des trucs faits par les comités de grand-mère de Daenerys.
Oh, I didn't see you standing there. May I help you?
Oh, my. This isn't the captain's office at all, is it?
He's down at the other end of the hall, my child.
Elle, selon qui lui parle, elle peut appeler la garde. C'est pour ça que j'ai demandé à Wynne de le faire. Bonjour. Je peux vous piquer vos affaires? Merci. Ah, mon inventaire est plein. Ah, c'est terrible. Bonjour. Bon, étonnamment, lui parler, ça devrait attirer la garde. Non, il s'en fout. Ok. Il s'en fiche. Eh ben, très bien.
Was murdered? I think that's a new record, even for an Earl of Denerim. Didn't he only hold the title for 10 days?
I heard the Chantry was offering to pay anyone who'd come to the funeral. Not even his own kin will make the trip for it.
Retanis, comment ça va?
Whatever you want, go talk to the sergeant.
We may want to rethink this.
We can handle this. We've faced worse already.
Did you hear what happened to Sir Calthrian?
No. What?
Do you have a moment?
What do you want, Elf?
What are you doing in this empty hall? If I had the time, I would be in the tavern.
We're just sticking around in case we're needed.
Ah, so it is not on the account of your excellent view of the lovely sergeant over there.
Well, I can't say the scenery here isn't a good argument for spending time here.
What? You never said you had your eye on Tanner.
Of course You poacher! You're eyeing her too!
I've been posted here longer than you have. You're the blighted poacher, you mangy little runt.
Well, that was easy enough. Shall we go then?
Let's. The warden is waiting.
On n'a même pas besoin eu besoin de parler à la capitaine. Hein. On a fait se taper les gens.
Break it up, you two. You wanna fight? Do it in the mess like everyone else.
Partir d'ici, charmé du prix, deviennent inutiles. Alors là, ça va devenir compliqué parce que on n'a pas trop de contrôle de masse. Donc, va falloir se débrouiller autrement. Zevran est mort. Tout le monde est paralysé et celui-là s'en est tiré. Ok, on est foutu. Oups. Mon bœuf d'attaque, rendez-le-moi. Ah mais j'oubliais, c'est vrai que j'ai ça avec Zevran. Hop, allez. Non, pas ça. Ça c'est pas bien. Wynne. Tu veux peut-être te soigner, non? Zevran, il va être temps de te poser toutes les bombes. On en a que 2. Bon bah tant pis.
As you like.
It always comes to this. We must have victory.
Good shot. You can't be serious.
Allez, on s'en tire.
Oh, another battle it is.
C'était pas gagné. Un malus de fatigue, c'est pas cool ça. Je vais avoir besoin de ces skills. Alors.
As you like. Oui, c'est pas grave. On va aller se chercher d'abord. Parce que sinon, c'est compliqué. Shall we compete for points?
I shall do so.
Ah, this really gets the blood.
Allez mamie, il va falloir aider. Carcan compresseur sur un Mabari, ça peut être bien.
Okay. Not so fast.
Tu l'as foutu, autant tuer l'autre.
You
Hop.
do know how to fight, don't you?
C'est pas évident avec Wynne, hein. C'est un peu d'estrade de Clodo. Ah, j'ai pas encore mon carcan compresseur. Bah, glyphe paralysant du coup. Non, pas répulsif, paralysant. Ah oui, c'est vrai que j'ai une strat encore plus de clodo que j'ai pas faite. J'aurais pu mettre un glyphe repulseur devant une porte, mettre les gens derrière et attaquer à distance. Mais je me respecte encore un minimum.
This won't take long.
Ah, j'ai cliqué sur le coffre, du coup ils ont leur stuff, mais ils sont pas censés l'avoir.
Ah, my dear Warden. Did you miss me?
It's good to see you in one piece. Now let's get out of here.
Ouais. Wynne est contente, mais pas Zevran. Pourquoi? Il était déjà au max? Oui, c'est pour ça. Allez hop. Toi, tu mets ton rempart de bouclier. Et maintenant, il va falloir qu'on s'évade d'ici. Wouhou. Ça c'est de là d'où on vient. Oui. Eh ben je vais explorer d'abord. Je veux connaître Fort Dracon. Marquement en épine de dragon. Du quartz. On viendra de toute façon. On n'en a pas fini avec cet endroit. Comment? Des intrus? Où ça? Je sais pas de quoi vous parlez, moi, monsieur. Ah mais Zevran, il fait tous les dégâts. Hein. Il est pas incompétent. Où ça, des intrus? J'ai pas vu. Pardon monsieur, vous travaillez pour quelqu'un que j'aime pas beaucoup. Est-ce que ça vous dirait de mourir?
As you like. Right. This won't take long.
Une épée à deux mains en argentite. Oh. Y'a pas un bouclier en or nul? Non, on l'a déjà acheté. On n'a rien de novice. Et ben on va jeter une bague en argent. Pardon, on a entendu dire qu'il y avait des intrus ici. Sont où les intrus?
Lovely.
Bon allez, assez joué. On se casse. Ils sont plus là. Super bien défendu votre prison les gars. Oh bah. Oh. Des prisonniers essaient de s'échapper? Où ça? Où ça j'ai pas vu?
It's so darling. Truly, it is.
Ooh, sweet.
Ah, il a résisté. Bah alors? Ils sont où les intrus? Les prisonniers qui essaient de s'échapper, tout ça? Je cherche moi. Je veux vous aider.
Now was not the time to talk, Warden.
Armure d'écaille en os de dragon.
We must find a way out of this place.
Mais non, t'inquiète pas, Wynne, on est déjà dehors. On va retourner chez Limon. Youhou! On est sauvés! On est libre! Hop, carte du monde, on peut pas aller au campement d'ici. Ok. Il va falloir qu'on aille dans Denerim pour ça.
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed.
Alors, moi je propose que pour fêter notre sortie de prison, on aille voir Zevran. Allez. Oh là là, ce bug. Ah, le bug de texture. Ouais, non, on va pas sortir le truc de chargement, on va mettre un bouquin à la place. Voilà. Et ensuite, on va faire un zoom dégueulasse et pas le sang bleu, tu es chelou. Zevran.
You wish to talk?
Non,
You and Alistair
non.
are quite... You and I have had our fun. I suspect. And what would you...
Eh ben, si c'est comme ça, non. Voilà. On va pas fêter en allant parler à Zevran. Si c'est pour qu'il nous fasse une crise de jalousie, voilà. Zevran, il a des livraisons de produits personnels. C'est pas prêt. Ah là là. J'aurais dû accepter sa boucle d'oreille et puis c'était marrant.
Maker's breath. It's good to see you in one piece, my friend.
Indeed. We have been praying for your safe return, Warden.
I can believe it. Though I'm afraid if we do not act quickly to erode Logain's support, we may all be seeing a great deal of Fort Draken in the future.
Very little. We will need to work together, and quickly. My father has gone mad. I didn't believe it at first, but he is gripped by a paranoia so severe it prevents him from seeing sense. He saw me as a threat, yet even now I'm certain he will be telling the nobles you are dangerous murderers that have kidnapped and mind-controlled me. He may even believe it. You will need ammunition come the Landsmeet, and I can help you in that regard. You have only just arrived in the city, so perhaps you are unaware of some recent events. Denerim has been in turmoil since Ostagar. Many people here are angry or grieving. Strangely, the unrest is worst in the alienage. Few elves accompanied the army. They should have little reason to be upset, which means that Hal and my father must have given them reason. I don't know what is happening there, but I am certain my father has his hands in it.
A useful lead, Honora, but you could have sent this information with your maid.
That is true. I feared for my safety as Hal's prisoner. But to tell the truth, I sent Elena to you because I hoped we might join forces. You need that evidence for the Landsmeet. But you also need a stronger candidate for the throne. You need me.
Non, pas toi. Pas toi, parce que si on avait dit que c'était pour te libérer qu'on était là, tu nous aurais trahis. Pas toi.
I have no doubt Alistair is biddable enough, and decent, but even with his blood, he is no king. You think only I can see it? Not only that, Alistair is a Grey Warden. It will look like you are trying to put a Grey Warden on the throne, despite your claims. I am a neutral party, and I am already queen.
Honora, you are indeed Kaelin's widow, but...
I am the daughter of Ferelden's greatest general. Who do you think truly ruled this nation for the last 5 years? Kaelin. I am what this country needs, not an untrained king who does not even want the throne. I can help you stop my father. Consider what I have said. For now, I think I will retire to my room. Warden, when you have a moment, I ask that you speak to me in private.
Bon, je crois que ça va être le moment pour larguer Zevran parce qu'il y a beaucoup de trucs dont il faut qu'on discute avec Alistair.
Well,
malheureusement.
Spirited. I remember when Logain first brought her to Denerim. Poor Kaelin was a good boy, but Honora was always 2 steps ahead. Had him jumping when she snapped since the first time she batted her eyelashes. I cannot help thinking she may be trouble, but we should keep her close, all the same. This is an alliance of convenience. For the moment, we are united against Logain. Be careful how much trust you place in her. I do not for a moment think Honora means to give up her power easily. Still, I would rather have her where we can watch her than actively working for Logain. Honora was a capable administrator for Kaelin's lands, but she has not a drop of royal blood. We did not fight the Orlesians all those years just to lose our royal line in a single generation. Not when there's a surviving son of the blood.
Alors, on va pas suggérer ça. Ça, on n'en veut pas. Jamais.
Thanks. I am right here, you know.
His mother was a maid, but his father was Merrick Theron, for whom we all risked our lives to win back the throne. I only wish Merrick had taken more time to instruct the lad in the politics of ruling. I did my best, but we all hoped Kaelin and Honora would secure the succession. We certainly have a great deal to plan. Maker knows what that man is capable of now. Of course, if I might make a suggestion, go speak with Honora. She will either be a powerful ally or a powerful enemy, and the sooner we know which she is, the better.
On va bientôt aller chez les elfes. Et avant ça, il va falloir faire quelque chose de terrible. Nous sommes réunis ici ce soir pour discuter avec notre sauveur de la prison.
Get to like this. The last time I came to Denerim, I stayed at an inn so filthy the bed bugs had fleas. Your wish?
Oh!
If they're dirty ones, certainly. Yes, I suppose it is time. You have been a good friend to me after all. There is no reason to be silent. There is a reason I accepted this mission in Ferelden, far away from home, and it had nothing to do with any thought that I might leave the Crows. Meeting you, after all, was quite an accident. My last mission before this one did not end well. You must realize that until that day I was cocky and arrogant. I was the best crow in Antiva, I believed, and I bragged of my conquests often, both as an assassin and lover. One of the Crow Masters grew tired of my boasting. My bid for an incredibly difficult mark was accepted, much to my surprise. A wealthy merchant with many guards and completely silent. Taliesin agreed to be part of my team, as well as an elven lass named Rina. She was a marvel. Tough, smooth, wicked. Eyes that gleamed like justice. Everything I thought I desired. Rina was special. I had closed off my heart, I thought, but she touched something within me. It frightened me. When Taliesin revealed to me that Rina had accepted a bribe from the merchant, told him of our plan, I readily agreed that she needed to pay the price and allowed Taliesin to kill her. Rina begged me not to. On her knees, with tears in her eyes, she told me that she loved me and had not betrayed us. I laughed in her face and said that even if it were true, I didn't care. Taliesin cut her throat, and I watched her bleed as she stared up at me. I spat on her for betraying the Crows. When Taliesin and I finally assassinated the merchant, we found the true source of his information. Rina had not betrayed us after all. Of course not. I didn't care to know. I wanted to tell the Crows what we had done, our mistake. Taliesin convinced me not to. He said it would be a foolish waste. So we reported that Rina had died in the attempt. We needn't have bothered. The Crows knew what we had done. The master who disliked me told me so to my face. He said the Crows knew, and they didn't care. And one day, my turn would come. You once asked why I wanted to leave the Crows. In truth, what I wanted was to die. What better way than to throw myself at one of the fabled Grey Wardens? And then, this happened, and here I am. No, what I want is to begin again. Whatever it is I sought by leaving Antiva, I think I have found it. I owe you a great deal. Let us return to your mission, shall we? Suddenly, I do not feel like standing about.
Ah là là, le pauvre. Dire qu'on va devoir le larguer.
You know, I could get to like this. Your wish?
Oh, on peut continuer à lui parler tant qu'on est ici.
Again? I'm game.
Ah. Si on peut lui parler, on peut peut-être parler à Alistair. Et si c'est le cas, on n'a pas besoin de larguer Zevran pour le moment. Le moment n'est donc pas venu.
I haven't been here in a while. They've changed the dining room. Ask away. Yes, me too. And I got the feeling at the end there that it saw us, was aware of us, whatever you want to call it. Could have just been my imagination, I suppose. What do you think? I thought we were already being extra careful. Does that mean we have to be extra careful now? Great. There I was enjoying my nap. I guess one thing is certain at least, isn't it? It's official. This is a blight. I haven't been here in a while. They've changed the dining room. Ask away. Of course. I didn't know them for very long. But I guess it was longer
Il a
than
pas
you.
envie de nous en parler
You
pour le
never met
moment.
them all, did you? They were quite a group. Actually,
Peut-être
they felt
parler à
like an
Nora
extended
d'abord.
family since we were all cut off from our former lives. We also laughed more than you'd think. There was this one time... Well, you probably don't want to hear stories about men you didn't know. Just one, a man named Terramel. He kept to himself mostly. I got the impression that his life before the Grey Wardens was unpleasant. There was one Grey Warden who came all the way from the Anderfels. What was his name? Gregor. He was a burly man with the biggest, fuzziest beard you've ever seen. And the man could drink. He drank all the time, but he never got drunk. Finally, we all made a pool to see just how many pints it would take to put him under the table. Sometimes, we were kin of a sort. All of us had gone through the joining, so we knew... Well, anyhow, it doesn't have to be deadly serious all the time. Anyhow, we never did find out. He said he'd drink a pint for every half pint that the rest of us drank. He was still going by the time the rest of us were passed out. I'm told that Duncan walked in later on and saw us all passed out from one end of the hall to the other, and Gregor still drinking. Duncan laughed until he nearly... Until... Yes, I suppose so. I thought I was done with this, but it just struck me that I have nothing to remember Duncan by, nothing at all. There's no body, not even a token of his that I could take with me. That must sound really stupid to you. I just would have liked something of his to take with me, that's all. Well, there's no use in moaning about it, is there? He's gone. Let's just go.
Allez. Allons parler à Nora. Mais c'est parce que c'est ce qui marche pour monter son affection en fait. Alistair, faut être gentil avec.
My lady, she will be forever grateful, Warden.
Hello again, Warden. It is good that you came to speak with me. I will be blunt. I can see that your voice will be a strong one in days to come. It is to you that Eamon listens, and with good reason. My father must be stopped, but once that is done, Ferelden will need a ruler. I would welcome your support for my throne. Do you disagree? You are a fellow Grey Warden. What do you think of Alistair's potential to rule? Never mind his willingness. Alistair seems like a kind, well-meaning man, and biddable enough. These are admirable qualities, if not kingly ones. He also seems to be a fine Grey Warden, which is exactly why he should remain one and serve the kingdom by defeating the Darkspawn. Oh, there are some who would follow Alistair out of respect for his Therin blood. The others would see this as Eamon grabbing for power. Who else do you think Alistair would turn to for help? Eventually, the nobility would return to the old days of constant warring with each other. Alistair's weakness would destroy everything Merrick built.
Tu parles, oui. Marek, c'était un sac, mais il était génial.
Ferelden needs an effective ruler with experience to see it through the Blight and after. That is not Alistair. Thus, I say again, I would welcome your support for the throne if you would give it. For years, I have ruled this kingdom as Caelin's queen. As much as they loved Caelan, all of the Banon knew this to be so. Caelan was a good man, but what is needed now is not another good man, but a good ruler. I sent Alina here not solely because I thought I needed help, but because I saw an opportunity for us both. I need your support, Warden, and you will need mine. I agree that there is much to be done before the lands meet, but don't you think plans should still be made for what will follow? I do. No? You're a Grey Warden, and despite the fact that my father will paint himself as the only one who can protect the country from the Blight, it is not so. Secondly, you saved Al Eamon from a plot that no doubt had its origins in Hal's sick little mind. People will not forget that. You are competent and powerful, and in the right place at the right time. Used to your advantage, these things could bring you far. That is exactly what I am proposing. When the time comes, you support my bid in the Landsmeet to remain on the throne. You will be seen as my father's enemy, yet you will be in support of his daughter. You will be seen as supporting the interests of Ferelden, as opposed to solely those of the Grey Wardens. In return, I add my voice to yours. Do you see? Together we can do what alone we cannot.
Non, pas toi. S'il vous plaît, dites-moi que pas elle.
He is my father, as well as a great general, who has served his nation well until now. If there is a way for him to live, I would prefer it. I will always be my father's daughter, but even I know he must pay for his crimes. It will not make me glad, even so. Does that affect your decision? Can we yet come to an arrangement?
On est bien d'accord, Zantis.
Once I am queen, I will be in a position to grant you whatever you wish. And I shall. Alistair might promise you the same, I suppose. But I would ask which is better. The gratitude of a weak king, or of a strong...
En plus, elle insulte Alistair.
And even if it is not for you, think of what I could do for the Grey Wardens. Think of what I could do for your people. I trust I have made my point.
Du coup, on lui dit d'aller voir ailleurs pour trouver de l'aide à rester sur le trône. Non, mais c'est pas toi qui décide.
That's too bad.
Ah.
Marrick's boys are charming, aren't they? And happiest when they have a woman to dote upon. Is that why you support him? The way you speak of him, it simply makes me curious. Well, fair enough. I'll tell you this, my father must be stopped. Once he is kept from the throne, if it should fall to Alistair, then I will be content. Ask me whatever you like. Of course it does. Do you think me heartless? But how much worse would I be to calmly stay at the side of a man who murdered my husband?
Tanis, tu sais qu'en supportant Anora, si on se débrouille mal, elle peut faire exécuter Alistair. Elle en est à ce point.
It seems a strange word to describe a marriage our parents arranged when he was newly born and I still in swaddling clothes, but yes, I loved him. He was reckless, impetuous, and charming. Had he not been king, he would have made a dashing rogue for a band of players. We were a good pairing. He would not have wanted the burden of ruling any more than I would have liked to remain the silent wife in my husband's shadow. Caelan was so idealistic. The world was his storybook, and he was the hero. My father is different. He's an idealist too, but he knows what idealism costs. They often clashed, but never seriously, never for long. Caelan would always come round to Father's way of thinking eventually. And then the Blight came. Caelan dreamed of uniting all the nations of Thedas against the Darkspawn. It was a dream. He wouldn't surrender. What my father saw, however, was the boy he had swaddled inviting Orlesian troops back into the land he had fought to free of them. And for once, my poor, foolish husband wouldn't back down. They would not believe it, most of them, even from my lips. Loghain is a hero they've looked up to their whole lives. Far easier to believe you or me a liar than him a murderer and tyrant. That's why it will be critical to find some way to discredit him before the lands meet. We must have proof of my father's crimes for the bands, or they will never believe us. Ask me whatever you like. Well, he was once a farmer when he was a boy, if you can believe it. I never could myself. He's useless with plants, for one thing.
Bah écoute, si la tâche c'est faire en sorte que Alistair séduise tous les PNJ, on peut aussi le caser avec Anora, hein, mais c'est pas forcément bien. Nous, on peut pas se la taper de toute façon.
And it shed half its leaves like a dog with mange. She never asked for him to help with her roses again. He bought her another one, though. He carried it back from Denerim with the branches overflowing his saddlebag. Despite the thorns tearing him bloody, he wouldn't let anyone else take it. He wanted to be the one to present it to her. My father has his faults, Warden, but he is far from common. Trust would perhaps be putting it too strongly. My father knew what How was, and while I despised the man, I knew that Father relied on his political mind. I expect my father thought himself above being influenced by the snake. Truly, I wonder how many of these acts stemmed from How and not my father at all. We may never know. I'm not sure. I had no inkling of my father's plans until Caelan was already dead. I would like to think that my father planned for the worst, but did not truly decide that Caelan was a lost cause until that moment in Ostagar. The alternative is difficult to imagine. Because he believes he is right, Warden. He thinks he is the only one who can see Ferelden out of its current crisis, even if it is one he helped engineer. My father is capable of remarkable blindness, but it stems from his love of Ferelden. That is the saddest part of all, I think. I hope not, but I fear it is so, yes. Ask me whatever you like. Do you want me to try my luck at fortune-telling? There was an old woman who read palms in the village of Gwarren when I was a child. She told me that I would have 10 children and be bald as a winter heath when I grew up. I can't say I put much faith in foretelling. What will happen depends much on you, Warden. But you certainly knew that already. Then I wish you luck, Warden.
Allez, maintenant que je t'ai dit que tu allais pas te soutenir, tu vas me backstab, je le sais.
Warden, let me know if there's any assistance I can give you. We have much to do and little time. We need to do all that we can in the few days left to us before the lands meet.
Alors. Bonjour. Riordan.
Hello again, friend. It looks as though you're no worse for wear after your stay in Fort Draken. We went through our joining together, more years ago than I like to remember. He was exactly the same back then, tough as stone and just as grizzled. I think he understood sooner than the rest of us how ugly a choice it is to let the few be sacrificed to protect the many. Always left himself a soft spot for his recruits, though. Only where he ever let himself down. It's located just off the Market District in the northern alley past the Old Noble Tavern. I'll sketch out the code which will let you pass the lock wheel. Inside you can take your pick of whatever equipment remains. It is the stockpile the Wardens have kept for centuries, for the defense of Denerim. Well, I'd be happy to tell you what I know, but it seems to me that you've picked the important parts up yourself. Be firm in your beliefs, protect people from their own ignorance, and be as loyal as you can to your brothers, even knowing you'll share their deaths. It was near 1200 years ago, and no one knows for sure, except that it began with a group of Ander soldiers. Apparently, they defected from their king's army, vowing that fighting the Blight was more important, and traveled all the way to Tevinter themselves. They were the first ones to track down the archdemon Dumat, and the ones to slay him, though none survived the battle. But they had picked up followers by then, and it was they who formally founded the Order, and were recognized by Thedas. Archdemons don't awaken on their own, you know. It takes the Darkspawn, tunneling and tunneling, searching for centuries to find one. And with no one to lead them, it must be sheer chance, or maybe instinct, which leads them. What's surprising isn't that it takes so long between blights. What's surprising is that they succeed at all. But I imagine the old gods call to them, and it's that voice in the darkness which drives them through so many generations. Once only, and I'd rather not go again. It's far, lass, and very foreign. The Wardens there, they fight Darkspawn like you and me, but they're shaped by the winters there in the forest. They're a cold group and don't care like they should about the rest of the world. Their king is weak, and many Anders look to the Wardens to rule. I hate to say this, but some of them seem to want it that way. It's tough to say. Only the fortress in Weishaupt has every record. But there are certainly a few dozen or hundreds in every nation in Thedas. The Anderfells are home to over 1,000. It's almost like the Archdemon chose Ferelden deliberately, knowing how unguarded it is. The important thing to remember is, none of that matters. When you're facing Darkspawn, all you need to know is to stop them at all costs.
C'est une philosophie qui se vaut.
So I'm guessing someone told Honora I was planning to steal her throne. She has a nasty glare. She wants to be queen. I get it. I don't trust her any more than her father, but I get it. Oh, smart. I wouldn't be surprised if that's why she arranged to be here to begin with. They say that Honora is smart, determined. She's supposedly the one who's really ruled here, not Kaelin. She's her father's daughter. Me? I say that's where the problem lies. People like her and her father always think they're the only ones who can fix things. So everyone should just stay out of their way. What do you think? When the Landsmeet comes, you might even have a say.
Là, si on l'avait pas endurci, il serait là en mode non mais donne-lui le trône, moi j'en veux pas.
Hein. You say that now. Just wait, I'm full of surprises. I haven't been here in a while.
Hop.
Ask away.
Alors,
Of
est-ce que tu as
course.
des choses à nous dire? Non, rien du tout. Eh bien, puisque c'est comme ça, nous allons aller à la taverne. Nous avons une revanche à prendre pour tout à l'heure. On va avoir du stuff. Et en plus, on a des affaires à donner.
You know,
À
I
certains
could get
nobles.
to like your wish. If they're dirty ones, certainly. I know little enough of the Dalish other than the fact that my mother was one, or so I was told. She had fallen in love with an elven woodcutter and accompanied him back to the city, leaving her clan behind for good. And there, of course, the woodcutter died of some filthy disease and my mother was forced into prostitution to pay off his debts. Oldest tale in the book. How should I know? My mother was a whore, as you'll recall. None of the other elven boys in the whorehouse knew their fathers. I was not so unusual. I didn't know my mother either, of course. She died giving birth to me. My first victim, as it were. We were all raised communally by the whores. It was a happy enough existence, ignoring the occasional beating. Until eventually I was sold to the crows. I brought a good price, so I hear. It could have been much worse. Shall I tell you about what happened to the other whorehouse boys who did not fetch a decent price with the crows? Surely your life has not been so idyllic. People like you and I are not the product of happy lives of contentment, after all. My original point is that my mother's Dalish nature was always a point of fascination for me. Through all the years of my crow training, the one thing of my mother's that I possessed was a pair of gloves. They were of Dalish make, I knew that much, and beautiful. I had to keep them hidden, of course, as we were not allowed such things. Eventually, they were discovered, and I never saw them again. I don't feel anything about them. Oh, we heard about them in the city, even deep in Antiva. I even had the notion once to run off and join them. Naturally, the reality did not live up at all to the fantasies I had constructed as a boy, staring at those gloves. But such is life. Come, enough talk of the Dalish. Let us move on.
Wouhou. On a épuisé tous les sujets de discussion avec Zevran, maintenant qu'il veut bien nous parler sans faire de crise de jalousie, mais uniquement ici. Il est bien cet endroit. Allez.
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed.
Allez, la taverne du noble chenu.
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Direct from Orth.
Whoever you are,
Oh non, tes textures.
Wait. I know you. My son described you in great detail. He tells me that I owe you his life. When I saw my poor boy's legs, I only wish House still lived that I might tear him apart myself. I would bring troops against his son. But Oswin tells me Thomas had no part in his father's depravity. Is there anything you would ask as a reward for saving Oswin? Thank you again. Know that I will stand behind you at the Landsmeet with all the support I can muster. In fact, I am taking my supper today with Ban Reginalda of the White River Benorn. I'll speak with her about this at once.
La 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 la.
How fares your brother?
I'd hoped to see him. May I help you? This is Ermenric's. Explain yourself. My brother would no more part with this ring than with his head. I haven't heard from him in months. Where is he? What's happened? A dungeon? What? No. I will go to him at once. Someone will answer for this. Take this with my thanks. It has been in my family since the War of Crowns, crafted for us by the Circle of Magi. An heirloom is a small thing compared to my brother's life.
Wouhou. C'est pas ouf ce que tu me donnes, hein. Enfin bon. Et barman, je peux te vendre mes affaires?
What can I get you, stranger? Right, I'll show you around.
T'inquiète pas, hein, je te vends aussi des trucs que j'ai piqués dans ton coffre, c'est normal. Tout se passe pour le mieux dans le meilleur des mondes. N'empêche, il est violent le bouclier de Hao. Hein. Mais hors de question que je porte un truc qui a sa marque. Est-ce que les partisans d'Adaman ont quelque chose pour moi? Non. Ignacio.
Will you be attending the funeral?
No.
No? But he was a friend of yours, was he not? You served in the same regiment under Merrick.
Brendan Howe was no friend of mine. The boy I knew died at the Battle of White River.
But I heard that his family will not make the trip from Amaranthine. Will you let him go to the flames unmourned?
That he didn't die years ago is the only thing worth mourning here.
Ça parle tellement mal.
I heard there was quite a scuffle in the alleyways. You took care of the father's other requirement, the man who kidnapped his son. Crows are hired. And when this blight ends, I did what I had to do. Like I said,
Hop là. Toi, c'est fait. On va essayer de faire tout ce qu'on a à faire dans cette taverne, hein, histoire que ça arrête de bugger. Bon, apparemment là-bas c'est géré. C'est géré aussi. Hop.
Will you be attending the funeral?
No.
There's nothing more to say.
Hop, on va sauvegarder à part.
What else?
Et... Allez, c'est parti pour la cache des gardes des ombres. Avec le bouclier de Duncan, qu'on va pouvoir offrir de suite à Alistair. Puisqu'il a mentionné qu'il aurait bien aimé avoir un souvenir de Duncan. C'est dans
This shield. It's Duncan's, isn't it? That's his crest. Thank you. Truly, I had no idea his shield wasn't with him. This is perfect. I don't know how else to express my gratitude. This means a great deal to me. I can't believe you remembered it at all. I'll treasure this. Thank you.
Pas d'approbation parce qu'il est déjà au max. Normal. Alors. Est-ce que oui, il l'a équipé par défaut. Petit bouclier de garde des ombres. Il est bien. C'est un bon bouclier. Une rune argentite. Toujours bien. Une masse qui fait des dégâts contre les enjonces. La hache pareil. Aume de griffon en argentite. Armure de plate lourde, tout ça, ça se vend. Allez hop. Youhou. Oh là, les bugs de texture, c'est terrible. Allez. On va tenter d'avoir cette robe. Non, en fait, on s'en fiche. On s'en fiche, et pour une raison très simple, on trouvera mieux dans les backlots. Mais avant ça, ça va être l'heure de faire la pause pour notre live. Parce que ça fait 1 heure qu'on live et que on est arrivé à une bonne transition puisqu'on va commencer une nouvelle zone. Allez. À tout de suite.